Hi, Philippe. Nice to be spending time with you today.
Hi, James. Yes, indeed. That's great.
Shall we start with a quick round of introductions?
Sure. Philippe Chauffard, Accenture. I lead our infrastructure engineering business for Accenture as part of our Cloud First organization.
Awesome, thanks. And I'm James Forrester. I joined VMware last year to lead the worldwide cloud technical community within our organization. Previous to that, I spent about 4.5 years at AWS, most recently as head of technology for globals, and about 18 years in financial services technology leadership before that. Great to be here with you. So I think we're going to talk a little bit about our new partnership today. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, this is indeed a very exciting new initiative between Accenture and VMware, our Accenture VMware Business Group. The business groups are, something special in Accenture. This is where we really reach a truly strategic relationship, and we want to do something, above and beyond our traditional ecosystem partnership, right? So this is about a joint commitment. This is about really having not only the governance, right, but the real executive engagement and be able to really drive more strategic value for our joint clients.
And that's very exciting to hear. And I think it's a terrific opportunity for customers here. We've been working with Accenture at VMware for over 20 years now. And the timing in the market is super interesting for me. I think what I saw over the last few years working with customers on their cloud journeys was a series of really rapid pivots. Firstly, with customers who were excited about the potential for cloud, but weren't convinced necessarily that it was going to be secure or performant or the right thing for them. And that rapidly changed into a perspective on getting to cloud quickly and realizing the transformational business benefits that it could deliver. And then more recently into a multi-cloud set of conversations, which I'm seeing most of our customers engaged with. And of course, right at the center there is Accenture and VMware. So I think it's a great time for this partnership.
It is indeed, right? And it's sometimes hard to believe that actually, the cloud has been around for more than a decade. We've come now to a point where everybody, right? And that's our clients, that's, the ecosystem, that all the cloud providers, including the hyperscalers, have come to the conclusion that not all workloads will end up into a public cloud. But nevertheless, I think it is really going to be a hybrid world. Actually, we've done some research. Basically, about 3/4 of our clients are telling us that they have a hybrid approach, right? And actually, more than 90%, have concluded that they will follow a multi-cloud, multi-hyperscaler approach as well. A multi-hybrid world, is going to be more complex. It's going to be more complex to actually migrate and move to. It's going to be more complex to operate and optimize, right? And I think this is where our relationship, can really bring the additional value, right? Because, we need, different solutions, we need different approaches, to be able to really leverage, the value of a hybrid multi-cloud environment.
That's a great way to put it. And I think I agree with all of those points. It's very clear to me that our customers are searching for solutions here. And consistently, not only do we hear that they are now on a multi-cloud journey, they're on a hybrid cloud journey, but they're really looking for our respective help in cutting through some of that complexity. So I think all of your points are very well taken.
We have kind of defined a bit of a framework or path that we called MAGI. So migrate, which is the initial step, into the cloud, then accelerate. So once you're actually in the cloud, then you can start doing and driving application modernizations, more cloud native work, and so forth. And then the next and the following step, which is, the real exponential value of the cloud, is actually what we called grow and innovate, which is really where you start leveraging the cloud to actually really transform your business processes, your products, and the services you provide to your end customers.
One of the really interesting elements that's more recently entered the conversation is around that enterprise data. Oftentimes that data is living within some of those 70 million workloads that run on VMware's platform today. It's managed there, it's generated there and governed there. We started to think about how can we help customers take that data, rapidly move that into those cloud environments where they can take advantage of those machine learning services and start to deliver those business outcomes. Are you seeing similar in any of the conversations that you're having?
So first of all, I mean, you can have all the most wonderful algorithm if you do not have the data to actually feed them, you're not going to get much value out of them, right? And to a large extent today, that data is trapped in those existing legacy environments and legacy applications. Part of the challenges, to your point, is to help our clients extract data, be able to move it to the right environment, to the right, part of their cloud, which could be, again, a hybrid and multi, and then be able to then, really leverage, and turn their data into real insights. The second challenge, it's the whole data gravity, right? Because, once you've actually managed to extract it, it's going to be pretty big. And that means you're not going to move it around, from one day to the next, right? So it needs to be a very thoughtful decision on which data goes where and how you're going to leverage that data, right? I mean, especially because obviously I think the choice of the cloud services or some of the public cloud services, it's not just going to be about, or it's actually going to be less and less about the price points, right? But I think a much more relevant decision criteria is going to be about, which services are available with some of those advanced services around analytics, around AI, and so forth. But obviously, once you start making some decisions, that's where you're going to have to put your data. The third challenge is going to be about all the data that gets created at the edge. I think Gartner says that more than 70% of the data will actually be created and processed at the edge by 2025, if I remember correctly. Doesn't matter whether it's going to be 70 or it's going to be a slightly different number, right? But I'm absolutely convinced that indeed a majority of the data will be created and will be processed, at the edge, right? And that's a whole new challenge, right? So as we look and help about building those hybrid multi-cloud environments, we need to keep that in mind, right? Because as I was saying earlier in our conversation, it's really about a cloud continuum, a full spectrum, from the kind of centralized, data center or centralized public cloud, really all the way down to the, to the edge, right? And that's only the beginning on that front, right? So that's going to be the interesting next frontier over the next couple of years and how that evolves, right? And I think that's going to evolve very, very rapidly.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think it's a big part of the reason why when we think about our architecture and the target architectures that we're able to create for customers here, that adjacency to those cloud native services, to those edge services that are going to produce the data, generate the data, as well as combine it with enterprise data and then perform analytics on it, really to have a very holistic reference architecture picture of all those pieces working together. I think that's very much in line with what customers are looking for from us.
And I think that's also one of the reasons for, actually considering hybrid environments, right? Because yes, there are reasons for not moving to, everything to the public, right? But I think for me, probably one, not just additional, but probably even more important reason is that, the edge by definition is going to have to be hybrid, right? There's going to be no other way around that. And therefore, I think this is also why having a robust hybrid multi-cloud strategy and architecture will, allow them to get started now, right? Because there's no time to lose. There's one thing is that there's absolutely no time to lose.
And the time is now. Yes, indeed.
There could not be a better time, right? And I think the next 3 years for me are going to be really an unprecedented wave of change, right? I mean, I think not just because of the maturity of the technology that is now available, but also by the burning platform that really the pandemic has crystallized for all the enterprises. So not moving at speed is just not an option anymore.
I couldn't agree more. Very exciting time, incredibly rapid progress in our industry and what we can bring to customers. Well, Philippe, I want to thank you so much for your time today. Great discussion, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what our joint organization can do for our customers.
Thank you very much, James. It's been a real pleasure. And as I said, I could not be more excited what lays ahead of us. And I think, I'm looking forward to continue being very engaged with our respective teams as we drive this relationship to the next level. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.